Hey everybody, welcome to another Cars and Zebras auction. All of this footage was taken at the Chicago Mecum Auto Auction, so I sure hope that you enjoy it. And of course, if you do, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel since I will be posting this footage regularly. But with that said, let's check out our featured car. Hey guys, before we start the video, don't forget to vote in the upper right corner for how much you think this car is going to auction for. Alright, let's hit it. This is a 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle Super Sport 454, and yes, it is the king of all Chevelles, the LS6. And I'm sure by now pretty much everybody is aware that the LS6 was an absolute fire-breathing monster. We're talking 450 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and 500 pound-feet of torque at 3,600 RPM, all with a compression ratio of 11.25 to 1. So I sure hope you love paying for race gas. But I'd have to imagine if you're in the market to buy an LS6, you're probably okay with paying for 110 octane. But the LS6 wasn't just a bunch of horsepower and torque, it was built to take some abuse. We're talking a Holley 800 CFM carb sitting on an aluminum intake, solid lifter cam, 4 bolt mains, forged steel crank and connecting rods, and forged aluminum pistons, and even deep groove pulleys to handle the 6,500 RPM redline. And just take a look at that front end, you guys. Arguably the most iconic muscle car of all time. And that's why these things command such crazy prices. People love the 70 Chevelle, especially the LS6. And they really weren't that rare. Total LS6 production, including hardtops, convertibles, and El Caminos, was 4,475. So you can definitely find them. There's always a few for sale, but they aren't cheap, and you're going to see that. With the 1970 Chevelle LS6, you only had 2 transmission options. You could either get the M22 Rock Crusher or the TH400. This car just happens to come with the 4-speed M22, and that's probably going to bump the price up just a little bit more. And how about the interior of that car, you guys? It is fantastic. Oddly enough, even in the LS6, a bench seat was still standard. If you wanted buckets, you're going to have to pay extra. And obviously, that's what the original owner did with this car, but they didn't shell out the extra money for the center console, so this is kind of an interesting combination. When it came to rear gearing on the LS6, from the factory, you only had a couple options. You could either get 331 gears or 410 gears. And this car just happens to house its original 331 gears with positive traction in a 12-bolt. By 1970, the Chevelle was starting to get a little bit heavy. Gone were the days of the lightweight Chevelles of the mid-1960s, and if you had an LS6 equipped with a 4-speed, the curb weight was 3,743 pounds. And if you opted for the automatic transmission, we'll add another 60 pounds to that. Let's talk about the original MSRP of the LS6. In 1970, the Malibu started out at $2,809, but then you had to add in the Super Sport 454 package. That was $503.45. But then on top of that, you had to add the LS6 package, and that was $263.30. Of course, you had to pay for the 4-speed, the M22, and that was $221.80, with Posi coming in at $43.05, giving an absolute cheapest total for an LS6 of $3,840.60. And of course, that does not include any of the destination charges or taxes. That might sound like a really good deal, but that was quite a bit more money than the SS396. Adjusting for inflation, that would be about $25,459 today. But I get the feeling this car is going to sell for just a little bit more than that at this auction. CarCraft magazine tested the LS6 in November of 1969, and they ran the quarter mile in 13.12 seconds at 107.01 miles per hour. Superstock and Drag Illustrated also tested the LS6 in May of 1970, and they got a similar result of 13.2 seconds at 106 miles per hour. That is pretty impressive. Now, if you've really been paying attention, you may have noticed that in all of the ads I've shown, Chevrolet really doesn't even talk about the LS6. And that's because they really just didn't advertise it for some reason. I mean, check out this commercial from Chevrolet in 1970. It really focuses more on the economical side of the Chevelle and not so much the performance side.
The top two Sabres from the top team. Chevelle, now America's lowest priced mid-sized hardtop. Priced $147 less than our previous lowest priced hardtop.
The top two savers from Chevrolet. The top savers are the top two Chevelle.
And then you're probably thinking, well, there has to be a commercial that focuses on the super sport cars, and yeah, there is, but it really only talks about the 396. So check it out.
Hey, 2 pipes. Gun it for me, will you, buddy?
Oh, now, come on.
These are belted fiberglass tires, aren't they?
Consider this fair warning. When you order your Chevelle SS396 at your Chevy dealer's sports department, expect to draw a crowd, no matter where you take it.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Chevrolet was thinking. They never really talked about or advertised the LS6. Let's take a second and go back to this magazine ad that's kind of a build sheet as well and take a closer look. Okay, we'll zoom in on the engine section and you'll see that they talk about the LS5, the 454 with 360 horsepower, but there's absolutely no mention of the LS6. It's all kind of a mystery, so if anybody knows the answer, then feel free to leave a comment. But like I said, even with that lack of advertising, they still sold 4,475 LS6 equipped vehicles, so they did all right. Before we hit the auction, let's check out that window sticker. Maybe there's a little bit more useful information. You'll see they list that it's had a frame-off restoration, it's got the original factory sheet metal, of course it's equipped with an LS6, they say original matching numbers M22 and the original 12-bolt rear. But oddly enough, they do not mention that it's a matching numbers LS6, so that could definitely hurt the value a little bit. And then below that, it lists the cowl induction hood, the heavy-duty suspension, the power front disc brakes, yada yada. Lastly, up at the top, you will notice that the mecum estimate is that this car will sell between $80,000 and $100,000. Normally, I would say that's a little bit high for a car that doesn't appear to have its original engine, but this is mecum and cars usually sell for a little bit more than they're worth, especially the LS6 Chevelles. I was able to find another one for sale online, and like our featured car, it does not have its original engine, and they're asking about $60,000, which is fair. But considering this is mecum, my own personal guess is that our featured car is gonna go for about $70,000, maybe $75,000. And with that said, let's check out the auction.
Will be sold from the BRP collection. It's a great group of muscle cars and classics. Up first is Lot 80, a 1970 LS6 Chevelle on frame-off restoration. On the original factory sheet metal is the LS6 454, 415 horsepower big block, rock crusher 4-speed, 12-bolt rear end, cowl induction hood, F41 suspension, Fathom blue LS6 Chevelle.
Plan, down by the 100, down on the buy, 100,000 on the 51, then 1 buy, 100,000 on the 51 port, right on the down 1, 30, 40, 40, 50, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, have an 80 man, have an 80 man, 70,000 on the 80, now 70 man, drop down 70,000 on the 80, have an 80 man, have an 80 man, 70,000 on the 80,000, 70 man, now 80,000 on the 84, now 70 man, 80, now 70,000 on the 80, now 80,000 on the 81, 80, 75, 80 man, have an 80, 75,000 on the 80 man, 75,000 on the 80, 80 man, 75,000 on the 80 man, 80 man, 85, now reserve is, reserves off, 75, on the 80,000 on the 80, 75,000 on the 85, now 80 man, 85, now 80 man, 85, 80 man, 5, reserve is off, 80 man, 81,000 on the 85, now 80 man, 5, forward, now 80 man, 85, 80 man, now 85, 85, 85, 82.5, now on the bot, 82.5, now 85, on the 25, 85, forward, 82.5, now on the bot, 85, 85,000, on the 25 man, 85,000 on the 85, on the 25, 85, forward, 85 man, 85,000 on the bid, 82.5, 85,000 on the bid, frame off, LS6, 85, 87.5, 4-speed, 85, 87.5, now 85,000 on the bid, 87.5, now 85,000 on the bid, 85,000 on the bid, 87.5, now 85 man, now 87.5, 85 man, now 87.5 on the bid, 85,000 on the bid, 87.5, on the bid, 85,000 on the bid, 87.5, 85 man, now 75 forward, 85,000 on the bid, 85,000 on the bid, 87.5, reserve his, on the bid, 85,000 on the bid, 87.5, 85 man, now 75 on the bid, 85,000 on the bid, 87.5. I can't see you. Give me a sign. 85,000 on the bid, 87.5. 85 man, 87.5 for it. Sold 85,000. Sold 85,000.
Lot 81 is unloaded at 64.
Thanks for watching this Cars and Zebras auction. I do appreciate it. If you found it entertaining, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future auction videos. And of course, I'll see you at the next one.